Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing the 2024 Volkswagen Golf R. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Volkswagen here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Golf R. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Alex. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. You can also get this with a manual. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 315 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the sharp lines that kind of go in towards the headlight section on either side. And speaking of headlights, I'm a big fan of the lights here on the Golf, and then notice that blue accent piece continues in the center. You also have a lighting element as well, so it kind of has a light bar design. Volkswagen logo front and center, you got an R badge off to the side, and then notice how it's all blacked out at the bottom. And putting it all together, it looks really good in my opinion, especially at night when you have the light bar all illuminated. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235/35/19 on the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver mixed in with the blacked out elements. And then we do have a blue brake caliper with the R logo. I think that's really sharp. And then there's another R logo right there. And I like this little fender flare extension because the wheels pop out just enough that they have to put that there. That's kind of funny. Notice the mirror cap is silver, and then you can see the window trim is all blacked out. And then look at the bodywork here on the side. Also, they have another little kind of fender flare here in the back as well. That is so funny. And then here is your full side view with the Golf R. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We also have the opening for the hatch, well, the unlock function, and then the Volkswagen logo on the back. And popping into the back, you guys can see we've got quite a bit of cargo space back here, especially when it comes to vertical space. Again, this is not a big car, so don't expect this to have like SUV levels of cargo space, but it's still pretty dang practical. And I like the fact that we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory. But anyways, when you're all done with this area, they don't really give you like a handle or anything up here, so just kind of grab the top and plop. Pretty cool looking taillight design here, and then you can see the parking sensors at the bottom, and then look at those exhaust tips with the diffuser. And then that spoiler there at the top, I think just adds to the flair. But let me know what you guys think about the R. For my opinion, I think it looks pretty sweet. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the rear, it's actually not soft touch here at the top, but it is down below where you're going to rest your arm, and then we do have some pretty good storage. And then we have the R's famous seats. So you've got the blue accenting with the carbon fiber print, and then you can see the rest of the trim down the center portion. And then when it comes to legroom, it's not massive, but I mean, I do fit back here. We do have a little storage pocket. We also have heated seats in the back, some vents as well. And then headroom back here, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see soft touch here, and then look at the trim down below, and then more soft touch. And then we've got all of our window controls here with our mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in, and you can see they do have blind spot monitoring. And then taking a look at the front seat, our logo there, notice perforated all down the center portion. And again, you've got like the carbon fiber print design. Power adjustments on the side with our memory seat function. And then we got our 2-pedal layout. And I like this trim here on the dash. And then we've got all of our light controls here on the side. It's kind of a little keypad thing. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, it's a very Audi-esque steering wheel. Notice how it's got the golf ball texture here on the sides so you can get a better grip, and then it is soft touch there at the top and at the bottom. Blue stitching, lots of blue accenting in general. Really like the paddle shifters here. I wish more automakers would make bigger paddle shifters on their cars like this, because it just makes it look cooler, and the actuation feels better as well. We do have practical controls like voice command controls, your control for the heated steering wheel, cruise control, your R mode as well. And then you get your regular stocks there on the back. And then here's the gauge cluster, full digital gauge cluster here. And if we press that R mode on the steering wheel, it'll actually pull up the drive mode select over here. But if we change the drive modes itself, it actually will basically pop up here in the center screen, depending on what drive mode you go into, which I don't know, I think it's cool how it kind of changes the overall look depending on the drive mode. And I guess I'll quickly pop over here so you guys can see the different drive modes. So basically you have like the sport, comfort, and then the custom, and then within the race mode you've got drift, and then special, which is your Nürburgring mode, which basically sets all these settings to aggressive, but then the suspension to softer. And while we're here, you guys can see the camera system. We do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, parking sensors front and rear, and resolution's solid. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, you've got the climate controls and some volume controls here at the bottom, and then the rest of it's controlled via touchscreen. It's actually very responsive. I like how you always have access to the climate controls easily as well. And notice we do have heated and ventilated seats, so definitely, you know, quite a few nice luxury features. Soft touch on the dash. We also have a heads-up display as well, and then you can see the trim down below that goes across. And then I like this with the vent, how that trim goes across as well. And then you've got shortcut buttons for like the climate, the drive mode, select, you know, parking assist, all of that. We do have a wireless phone charging pad, some USBs. And I like this thing here. Your engine stop start with your parking brake, and then you get your transmission selector. It's a little shaver shifter. And then you can see with the parking brake. So that's just park, that's the brake. I always like, anyways, you've got some cup holders here, and then the center console. And then you can see with the padding and stitching. And then glove box, yeah, pretty normal. And then up top, we get our control here for the sunroof. And then here's our window sticker for the 2024 Golf R. Pretty much everything is standard equipment. We only have like a couple of options that you can add to the Golf R for the most part. And then you guys can see the total MSRP there, $48,216. And let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throw throws to the rear, and Golf R away. This is a really cool car. Even though it has a Volkswagen badge on the outside, it might as well have an Audi badge on the outside, because these new Volkswagen interiors, I mean, the build quality, like the fit and finish, everything's really nice, and material use is also solid as well. Like they've come, like Volkswagen, you know, in general has definitely come a long way. Now the Volkswagen Golf R is not super low to the ground, but if you've got a steep enough curb, you definitely want to angle it a little bit, like if you happen to be leaving strong Volkswagen, so you don't scrape that beautiful front end. But initially, seat comfort's actually, it's really good. So I think that that's a positive. These seats feel like they've got really good bolstering, like they hold you in place really well. But on top of that, they just like, they've got good padding. So I think they've kind of struck a nice balance with these particular seats. And I think we should be, yeah, we're good finally. Ooh, smooth, the transmission. Very smooth. Like it is just quick, but also again, like it's just it doesn't feel annoying like dual clutches can sometimes feel. Let's see what mode we're in. Press the R button again. Why is it not doing anything? Is it because I'm moving? There we go. So I'm actually going to pop it into the Nürburgring mode. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, you know, these roads here are kind of a little bit on the bumpier side of things. I like how it's green. Because, I mean, the Nürburgring is known as the, what, green hell, I think. So, makes sense. Yeah, so sharp. Oh, you get little pops out of the exhaust too. That's fun. Sit in the... Yeah, so pop into the S mode. So this isn't manual mode, this is just the more aggressive transmission setting. If I want it in manual mode, just boom, press pedal. Again, I love how smooth everything is. And this car, like the suspension damping is really good. But again, obviously that's what the Nürburgring mode is all about. I like the steering too, it's tight. And you know, noise insulation, it's pretty average for a hot hatch. I would not call this like a luxury car when it comes to insulation, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I like the balance they've struck here with the Golf R. And this DSG, it's such a sharp transmission. So smooth for a dual clutch, but you still get the benefits of having really quick shifting as well. So it's like you can have your cake and eat it too with this transmission. It's so quick. It is so quick. Yeah, you read the power figures and you think, ah, man, we need 400 horsepower in a car like this nowadays. But man, this just over 300 horsepower. And the handling, yeah, just the way that this car drives, it's really fun. So to cap things off with this, I think it looks really cool on the outside. It's got less of a crazy look compared to stuff like the Civic Type R. Even the new Integra Type S is kind of a little bit out there. But yeah, really nice exterior. I love the interior. It's very Audi-like in here, and that's the good way to look at this car. It's pretty much an Audi. So if you want a very sporty driving car that basically drives like an Audi S car, but you don't want to pay Audi prices, and you want something that looks cooler than a lot of Audis because it's got the hatchback design, then that is what the Volkswagen Golf R offers. It's really sweet. And you know, now that, you know, the Civic Type R, I mean, still front wheel drive, Integra Type S front wheel drive, those are both going for over $50,000. It actually makes this look like a pretty dang like a good value overall. But let me know your thoughts.